Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Don Preston. I'm the president of Preterist Research Institute. Welcome to my office. I'm introducing kind of a new segment entitled Morning Musings. I'm going to try to be with you on a pretty often, pretty common basis. Just share some basic thoughts. Get to know you on a very personal level. I have people contacting me all the time asking me, who's Don Preston, and how did you come to be a full preterist? After all, you weren't raised and taught as a full preterist, and that's certainly true. But first, a little bit about myself. I'm been married for 42 years to an absolutely wonderful woman named Janice. We've been married, like I said, for 42 years, and it's been a wonderful, wonderful marriage. Just absolutely couldn't get by without my wife. I have two children, a daughter who lives in Arkansas, and a son who lives here in Oklahoma. And, the Lord has just richly, richly blessed me in my life. I was raised as a fifth-generation member of the Churches of Christ. That's, for those who perhaps don't know, that's the amillennial view of eschatology, the last days, coming of the Lord, etc. I absolutely was not raised believing that the Lord had already come, that the last days were in the first century. No, but there was a great deal of confusion in my fellowship, and still is, in the Churches of Christ. And as a result of my studies, I began to see some severe problems with the traditional views of the amillennial world, as well as the dispensational and postmillennial world. And I'm going to be sharing with you over the next little bit some of the things that led me to really struggle with that eschatology. People ask me why I do what I do. And the only thing I can tell you is the reason that I do what I do is because I just want to be a follower of the Lord. I'm not worried about tradition. I'm not worried about what other people believe. I just don't worry about tradition. I don't worry about the creeds. I worry about what the Bible says. So in my morning musings, I'm going to be sharing with you some things that caused me to re-examine and to ultimately reject my traditional views and to become an outcast, so to speak. But you know what? Even though the struggle has been at times very painful to be rejected by my brethren and the wider evangelical Christian community, I can also tell you that the journey has been liberating. It's been enjoyable as I get to travel the world literally and meet other Christians who are on the same journey and whose only desire, whose only goal is to be servants of the Lord and to know His truth. So that's a little bit about Don Preston. Oh, by the way, people have asked me, what's your hobby, Don? What do you like to do? Well, my hobby is restoring old Mustangs. I've been restoring old Mustangs since about 1975. I'm currently working on a 1990 model Mustang GT. It's going to be a hot rod. Motor's in the shop right now. It's going to have about 350 horsepower when I get done, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So that's my hobby. That's a little bit about Don K. Preston. So that's our first morning musings with Don K. Preston. And by the way, I've been studying a lot about John the Baptizer. Let me suggest that you go to my websites, www.eschatology.org or BibleProphecy.com. Take a look at the articles that I posted on there. I'm telling you, John the Baptizer is the most significant eschatological figure in the New Testament, other than Jesus and Paul, of course, but he's the most ignored eschatological figure. So take a look at my websites and read what I have to say about John the Baptizer. Thanks for joining me for this morning's morning musings. We'll see you in the morning.